All right. Hello, Internet. So hopefully you got here because you listened to our podcast, Grade 43. If you don't, check it out after you're done watching this video. I'll wait. All right. Well, anyway, whatever. So I just want to talk about this kit guitar that I finally got around to building and can talk about. And as someone who is a beginner woodworker and guitar maker, I couldn't be happier. I got it from Guitar Kit World, no endorsement or any kind of thing like that. Just bought it. It was about $200. It's a mahogany neck, mahogany body, and an ebony, but it might be an engineered ebony fretboard. And it came with everything, right? So the only thing I added were the tools and the finish material that was needed for this. So let me walk you through what it was, okay? There's definitely some specialty tools involved, and at the end, I'll have you hear how it sounds, and then also talk about what I would change on it. So real quick, the basic work was doing this carve. That was the one extra thing that I really wanted to do here. So you can see it right there. That's the belly and the arm carve, and I used a spoke shave for that on the back here, and a plane on this side for that, and pretty happy with how that all came out. And then after that, it was time for the finish. And for the finish, I used Osmo Poly-X on the neck. Just Google that and you'll see it just feels great, and it's non-toxic, so it's great. I can do it in the house right here in my office, and no one's going to complain or get sick. It's food safe. Same thing with the body. I used a product called Rubio Monocoat, and I used black on white, and it was supposed to make the white kind of pop out, and it's called cerused. Looks more like denim right now because I think there's a lot of grain, but again, this was non-toxic, and it smells good. And it left the wood with a bit of a rough finish, but it's not the product, it was me. I did not sand it nearly enough. So I would recommend sanding it more than 220 grit probably if you do that. And then after that, it was time actually to go ahead and assemble the guitar. And once I had it assembled, I did all the fretwork. And you can Google what the fretwork is, but I highly recommend you do that because then it's going to be right. And you're going to need some specialty tools for that job. And that includes like the fret files, like a crowning file.
But first you'll have to unlock your device.
Google, go away. All right, anyway. So fret file, crowning file, and also the right sander for doing that right there, and a straight edge. So just Google how to do it, and you'll see it works pretty well. Pretty happy with how that all turned out. Once it was all assembled and the fretwork was done, it was time to do like sort of assemble all the parts and do all the wiring. I highly recommend getting the shielding tape. Makes a big difference. This guitar makes no noise whatsoever. That's just noise like from the physical move that I did there, but this is quieter than my $1,000 guitars, okay? So for a $200 guitar, and it was that shielding job that I think really made all the difference. And after all that was done, it was kind of ready to go. Well, there's the setup job. And the setup involved a couple of specialty tools as well. And the setup involves getting the intonation and the making sure that the action is good, a couple of other steps there. And you can probably Google that. Or for all of those different things, you could also talk to my buddy, Eric Petrus, who has a course on how to do all of this stuff. I'll have a link to that in the bottom there as well. Let's hear this guitar, right? Here it is. Here's the neck pickup. Both pickups together. And bridge pickup. Anyway. Forgot to mute that. We'll see how that sounds in a second. You'll find out. All right. Anyway, I got to say, what are some things I would change on the guitar, right? And kind of say, I thought that sounded okay, but now I'll talk about what I think needs to get changed on this. So I forgot to mention, one of the things you're going to need to do also is probably slot the nut, and you need some specialty tools for that as well. So all in all, if you were going to buy all of these tools, buy the finishing materials and the guitar, you're probably looking at about $300, $350 instead of $200. So if you and your friends want to do it together, maybe you'll be able to save some money. But the tools themselves would probably be about $100, a little over $100, what you might need for this, so that it's not too much work to do, especially if you're inexperienced like I am. So I would change the nut. I don't think, either it's me or the nut is perhaps not that high of a quality nut. Again, the whole kit was only $200, but it kind of gives it that sitar sound, and I'd like to fix that. The other thing is this bridge pickup is not very well balanced. You can barely hear the high E string, especially if I bring down the volume or turn down the tone. So yeah, those are the things I would change on this. But anyway, I'd love to hear your comments. Have you built one of these before? What else would you like to know about this kit? Links are in the bio for Eric Petrus's course, for Grade 43, and for Guitar Kit World. And thanks again for watching. Cheers!